Shah Alam. Ya? Faham ikut. Ikut naik bas kan? Okey. Kedua? Okey, boleh. Sebelum pukul 2 boleh konfirmkan dengan saya. Okey, terima kasih Shah Alam. Okey, boleh. Baik, terima kasih. Kalau boleh kita nak minta pegawai pengiring tu naik sekali bas lah dengan kita. Okey, baik. Terima kasih. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning to all delegates. Welcome to First International Student Leadership Symposium, Integrity Methods, Shaping Tomorrow Leaders Toward Ethics and Professionalism. My name is Mardia binti Abdul Rashid as your head of speaker for this assembly. On my right, our deputy head of speaker, Muhammad Amal Kasha bin Muhammad Shami. On my left is my keeper, Deniz Hazim bin Azmi. Our first repertoire is Nurul Hazwani binti Mat Shah. And our second repertoire is Aliano Maisara binti Muhammad Ashid. Ladies and gentlemen, today we also have magnificent contribution from our international partners who have submitted their paperwork and research for today's motion. With this opportunity, I want to give a round of applause and my huge gratitude to Universitas Negeri Jakarta, Universitas Indonesia, and Universitas Islam Malam Indonesia for the submission of your paperwork. Now I will read all of the rules and regulations for today's assembly to ensure a smoother flow for all of us. The first rule, enforcement. This symposium rules shall apply upon commencement. The first International Student Leadership Symposium follows the current year and is subject to change accordingly. The High Council of the First International Leadership Symposium. Second, head of speaker of International Leadership Symposium. The appointment of the head of speaker must be approved by the current year's organizing committee. If the head of speaker is absent or chooses not to chair the session, then the deputy speaker shall preside over the meeting as the chairperson. Third, allocation of delegated seats. On the symposium, delegated must sit in the seat arranged by the Secretary of the House until instructed otherwise. All decisions regarding the allocation of delegation seats made by the head of speaker of the International Leadership Symposium at any time during the conference are final. Fourth, English as the official language. The official language of the symposium is English, and method of mediation, correspondence, documents, and reports may use the official language. Fifth, dress code. Representative and the secretariat must adhere to the dress code guideline. Sixth, etiquette during the conference. Delegates must conduct themselves with decorum and proper etiquette. Everyone should remain silent so that the speech of the head of speaker can be heard without interruption. Interrupting or disturbing others in an impolite manner while someone else is speaking is not allowed. Seventh, action that may be taken. The head of speaker has the authority to order any member who behaves inappropriately to leave the hall immediately for a duration deemed appropriate by the First International Student Leadership Symposium. 8. Form of questions that are not allowed. A delegate is fully responsible for the question posed throughout the symposium. Questions from delegates must not contain negative elements such as flattery, personal interest of the representative themselves, or confidential or sensitive matters of the symposium. After the High Council has discussed, debate is allowed in this assembly and every objection is now allowed. The last rule, resolution. Once the symposium is done, a majority vote must be conducted to gain the legitimacy of the resolution. The head of speaker will announce the voting session during the end of the symposium. A resolution that gains full majority support within the conference hall is final and cannot be withdrawn. Resolution will be sent and verified by the Academic Affairs Division, Student Affairs Division, and the respective deans of the faculty. This is a reminder for all the delegates. For the first motion, you must state your name, state your university name, and state your faculty name only for the first motion. Next, delegates are also given 2 minutes to speak for each motion, with a timekeeper ringing a bell for every minute that passes. If any delegates require additional time, they must raise their hand and obtain permission for the head of speaker first. Without further ado, before we start before we start with our discussion, I would like to address our theme for today is integrity matters, shaping tomorrow's leaders toward ethics and professionalism. So we would like to know the opinions and ideas between our delegates that participate in our symposium. Now, for the first motion. With Malaysia introducing only 18, many young people are not interested in voting. How can we encourage more youths to get involved in politics and take the first step by registering to vote so they can help to decide the next government? Please welcome our first delegate, FSPPP Sabah branch, to answer the motion.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera, salam UiTM yang hidup. Deepest gratitude to the head of speaker, all the observers, and all the delegates. My name is Muhammad Ash'ari, and I am all the way from UiTM Sabah branch campus, Kota Kinabalu. Alright, and I'm from faculty, I'm from FSPGP Sabah. Alright, without further ado, I will start with the concept of what I'm bringing today. So, only 18 or only 18 refers to Malaysian constitutional amendment that lowered the voting age from 21 years old to 18 years old. It allows more youth participation in elections, empowering them with political rights. So, the question is, Malaysian delegates can state the answer based on your country. So my point of view or personal of view here is the first one is youth engagement incentive. Government have created platform and forums specifically for youth to discuss politic matters or issues and engage with candidates. For example, Malaysia has been seen do some initiative or initiative, for example, youth parliament. So which provides a space of young people to voice their concern and opinion and become more engaged in political processes. This method actually can help bridge the gap between young voters and political system and making the act of voting more accessible and relevant to young people. I will take from my country itself as an example. For example, we are implementing the free law SMJ to give the young youth the platform to raise their voices. I think that's all for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you to FSPPP Sabah branch, and we may proceed with next delegate, FSPPP Kedah branch.
Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera, salam UiTM di hatiku. Deepest gratitude to the head of speaker and the audience in the hall. So, ladies and gentlemen, with the introduction of undi 18 in Malaysia, we open the door for a new generation of voters, giving them the power to shape the future of our nation. However, many young people remain disengaged, hesitant to vote, and disconnected from the political process. So, how do we encourage more youth to take the first step to register to vote and ultimately participating in deciding our government? So, firstly, we must start with civic education or implement further details about the process of democracy and its importance in the history subject. Research shows that educational initiatives about democracy significantly impact voter turnout, and empowering youth with a deeper understanding of how their vote impacts their future is crucial. And civic education or political awareness among youth should be engaging and practical, and showing them the real world examples of how political decisions shape issues they care about. For example, like education, employment, and also climate change. And the earlier we build the knowledge, the better equipped they will be able to make informed decisions. And for example, we implement this among the students of secondary schools way before they graduate to reach the age of 18. So that at the early young age, before they graduate, they can have more awareness about the political awareness. And there are also other ways like leveraging social media and address youth-centric issues. And but by implementing the political education in school that we learn every day can be one of the best way to encourage youth to get involved in politics. So finally, the key to sustainable political engagement is integrity and professionalism. Young people are disillusioned by corruption and also scandals. So if we are uh, encourage their involvement, we must show them that leadership is about ethics. And voting is not just a civic duty, but it is a responsibility to choose leaders who will uphold the values of integrity and also transparency. So, in conclusion, by fostering an environment of ethical leadership and also making politics accessible, we can inspire the youth to take ownership of their political rights. And with their involvement, we can shape a future rooted in integrity where young people are the driving force behind ethical and professional government. Thank you.
Thank you to delegate FSPDP Kedah branch. We may proceed with the next delegate, FSPDP Kelantan branch.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, salam di hatiku dan salam Malaysia Madani. Thank you for the opportunity. But to go through for the motions, I would like to go straight to the issue that we want to discuss is how can we encourage more youth to get involved in politics and take the first step in registering to vote. So our opinion as a delegate from Kelantan, we are thinking about programs, collaboration between the politicians and the youth. So, as you know, our country, we have 222 parliament members, and they take care of their own district or their places. So, if each of these parliament members make a programs, collaboration with the youth, local youth at their district, they these very good efforts would enhance the relationship between these politicians and the youth. Therefore, it creates more good perspective from the youth to see how good is our politics. They have to know that the importance of politics, the importance of voting to decide our future government, our future leaders for our good country. So, for example, I'm thinking about the aspect of program. We have to go to the interest of the youth, e-sport or community project, and so on. By doing a programs in that aspect, we can have a very stable relationship between us, youth, and the politicians, so that this issue most probably will be settled in a long time period. That's all from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you to delegate FSPDP Kelantan branch. We may proceed with the next delegate, FSPDP Pahang branch.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, speaker. Thank you to my other delegates. So I want to shift the direction of the motion slightly certificate. So actually our Undi 18 already berjaya, we can say like that, because there, according to Bridget Welsh, there is 75% of uh, young voters between age 18 and until 30 already cast their vote in the previous general election. So I want to tell on how we can encourage more youth to get involved in politics. So basically, we need to create a sense of ownership towards the young people. The first thing we need to do is to empower young leaders, trust them to run for the office uh, and lead our country. We need to show that political leadership not limited to the older generation. It is because the future of our country is on our hand. Our country are basically moving backward in proposing young leaders to lead the country. Tun Razak became the deputy president of UMNO at the age of 29, and after that became a deputy prime minister at the age of 35. Rahim Tabici became chief minister of Malacca at the age of 32. That is 30 and 40 years ago, even 70 years ago. So basically, right now we doesn't have any young leaders that come into the scene, and lead our country. The At the end of the day, we are the one who did that this our country, and we should be given the task to lead the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you to delegate atas PDP Pahang branch. Now we may proceed with next delegate atas PDP Seremban branch. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to the head of speakers, the High Council of the Symposium, and not to forget all of the delegates here. To begin with, let me introduce myself first. My name is Shasha Nabi Salahuddin, and here I'm presenting as FSPP's Seremban Campus Delegate. I'm also the president for one COP under the faculty in Seremban Campus, which is Board Education Society, to be short as known as the BEST. Since I'm the president of Voting Education Society, so I believe this motion is highly related to my COP. So I will answer this motion based on my point of view. I guess most of us are not aware about this one of the best and effective approach at university level, which is by establishing COP focusing on voting and election, such as for UiTM Seremban Campus is my COP, Voting Education Society, that is focusing to educate students about the importance of voting, their rights as voters, and how their participation can directly influence the future of the nation. In addition, I would like to add some more. A notable advantage of this initiative is that the Voting Education Society, which is my COP, is linked with the official body of elections in Malaysia, which is the Suruhan Jaya Pilihan Raya SPR. So when we are formally connected to SPR, we get the credibility and ability to offer official guidance. So I bet most of you guys here must not understand how it works. To be clear, the member of BEST, our club, can even be commissioned by the SPR as icons of the Academy Pilihan Raya Associate Trainer. And for BEST in Seremban, only I would say that all of our members are now is the Certified Academy Pilihan Raya Associate Trainer, and I'm also one of that. So, by being commissioned as AAT, it gives us the authority to not only educate students in university, but also engaging with the school students, preparing them, the younger generation, for future elections. For instance, as we have been commissioned by the SPR, we have the right to educate people on voting, and what we do is by organizing programs with school students, and the programs will include talk on political issues, voting, and some related matters. We even do election simulations so that they will have a clear view on how the process of election in our country is actually running. I would like to add some more. Can I? No. Okay. Thank you. So, in conclusion, I would like to say that I hope that this model should be adopted by universities nationwide. This is said because by setting up a voting education society on campuses, students will have access to resources, workshops, and talks led by trained members of VES. This strategy also ensures students are both knowledgeable and motivated to participate in elections, driving up the youth voter registrations. And currently, for UITM in Malaysia, I would like to say, sadly, only Sarawak campus that has also established a VEST in their campuses. So I hope other FFCB campus will also follow and continue to proceed this initiative as it has been approved from the last delegations back in 2023. This is also same and likewise to other universities and faculties as you guys are now aware about the existence of voting education society. So I guess that is all from me. Thank you. Thank you to delegate atas PPP Seremban branch. Now we may proceed with next delegate UITM Negeri Sembilan branch.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and good morning to all delegates. My name is Muhammad Azman and I'm from Faculty Communication and Media Studies in UITM Campus Sembawang. So let's start by giving a brief overview about UNI 18. UNI 18 is a hybrid amendment to American Constitution lowering the voting age from 21 to 18. This change also introduced automatic voter registration, meaning young Malaysians are added to the electoral roll as soon as they turn 18. So, the motion, how can we encourage more youth to get involved in politics? First, we should leverage social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. These platforms are where young people spend much of their time. As a master student, I believe the power of social media, the enthusiasm and so on, will be shaped to the youth involved in politics. So like an example, politicians such as Sai are already utilized this platform to address issues important to youth such as education, job opportunity, and climate change. By engaging with this platform, we can make the political decision more relevant and accessible to young people. So, in conclusion, may I additionally, promoting political literacy in school, university, and online platform can equip youth with the knowledge they need to participate in confidently in politics, understanding the political processes, and its impact can empower them to take an active role. In conclusion, by using social media effectively and enhancing political literacy, we can encourage more young Malaysians to engage in the political processes. And of course, it's not just about voting, it is about shaping the future of our nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you to delegate UITM Negeri Sembilan branch. Before that, I want to remind all delegates you don't need to talk about the introduction. Just introduce yourself and give out your points. Okay. So we may proceed. Hello. We may proceed with next delegate MPP UCS.
Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Raja Faizan. I represent the Student Representative Council of the Selangor. So just directly to give, I just want to give my opinion towards the issue. First, we need to make politics relevant to their lives. It is not enough to tell them that the vote is vital. We must show them how political decisions affect their daily life. For example, Malaysia youth unemployment now stands at about 10%, three times the national average. Correct me if I'm wrong. When the young realize that the policies concerning jobs, education, and housing are going to affect their futures, I believe they'll see voting as a way to drive real change. Secondly, we have to invest in the political education of our people. Many young people do not take part in politics because they do not understand politics. School, social platform, and communities have to work towards increasing civic knowledge. Voter education campaign and accessible discussion will help make youth confident in making informed decisions when they vote. And lastly, let's harness the energy of collective action. Young people today care deeply about climate change, social justice, and economic fairness. If we connect these causes to why voting matters, we will see more youth involvement in the politics field. So real change begin at the ballot box, and their votes could shape the policies that reflecting their values. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you to Delegate MPP UCS. Now we may proceed with next delegate, Faculty of Education. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fasha Azuna. I am a student of Faculty of Education from UIT Abu Alam. Okay, so for my answer for the first motion is I agree with FSPPP Kedah and FSPPP Kelantan with their points just now. If we want to encourage more youth to get involved in politics, we must start by leveraging education as a tool to foster awareness. Honored guests and fellow student leaders, we need to integrate civic education into our curriculum. I believe the reason why youth nowadays are not highly involved in politics is because they feel lost and disconnected from politics as they do not fully understand how it affects their life. Schools and universities can change this by offering engaging and practical lessons on how government functions. Not just that, through a syllabus in history subject, um, it teaches us facts about the struggle of our politicians to achieve voting rights for citizens, which speaks volume of how crucial is a single vote for our country's future. So when youth finally realize the seriousness in voting action, they will eventually take the first step and do their vote after learning its impact on them. Next, I would like to encourage participatory learning by involving students in real life political activities. This can include organizing mock elections, visiting parliament, or meeting with local representatives. In schools or university settings, debate clubs and model parliaments can be held to give students more exposure out of theory learning. When students see how politics operates up close and experience the decision-making process firsthand, they are more likely to feel empowered and motivated to get involved in politics. Thank you. All right, thank you to the delegate Faculty of Education. Now we may proceed with next delegate Faculty of Accountancy. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurfatin Najwa. I am a student of Faculty of Accountancy UITM Putra Alam. As our first motion, how can we encourage more youth to get involved in politics and take the first step by registering to vote? So we can um, we can start it from the education and awareness. We can implement educational programs in school and university to explain how the importance of the voting can affect our country, and this foundation knowledge will empower young people to make informed decisions and understand their role in democracy. And then, other than that, from the educational programs in school and universities, uh, the youth can know about how the process of voting started from the register, net, nor the designated polling station and others. Next strategy, we can create a platform for young people to engage in political discussion and activity. From this, from this platform, it can stimulate interest in the political process in the young people. For the example, organizing your forum, debate, and workshop. Lastly, as the modern generation, we can use to utilize social media to reach young people where they are most active at. We can use the social media to highlight the success stories of young voters can affect the youth engage, and motivate to youth to participate in the electoral process. That's all for me. Thank you. Thank you to Delegate Faculty of Accountancy. Now we will proceed with next Delegate Faculty of Business and Management. Bismillah. My name is Juhaiza from Faculty SBM. So first of all, I will agree with FSPPP Sabah and Kedah. Kedah. Okay, so for FSPPP Sabah, say that civil education is important, right? So I would add some, which is based on my research just now at TikTok, the teacher, okay, the teacher from school do sejarah history form 4 about chapter 8 about how to about how to voting. So in that video, they show that we need to register, we need to what you call that? Wujud jari tu dalam kan. So they teach them so that they have an experience to do before they reach to 18. So for the UITM SPPP Kedah, which is what? This one? What is it? About the youth role models. I think okay about youth role models. So based on my experience, okay, when my first voting session, I don't have any experience how to do vote, and I don't think that if I vote, is that the country will change? I will say like that. But when I saw the Fahmi Reza, do you know Fahmi Reza? Okay, they teach us, teach me in the life how to vote and why we need to vote. Because that, if because that after I watched the video, I register myself to vote. So based on my experience, I would say that if the TikTok or influencers such as what Khairul Amin, okay, do that video to do Undi 18, I think that will be encourage the more youth to uh, to register Undi 18. Sorry, Legit, you have reached your time limit. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I just want to remind again, if any delegate want to use any other languages, please pardon yourself first. Thank you. Thank you to the delegates, Faculty of Business and Management. Now we may proceed with next delegate, Faculty of Law. Yes, yes. All right. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. May it please the head of speaker. My name is Nur Hajaja binti Muhammad, and I am from the Faculty of Law UITM Shah Alam. So, to give a brief introduction, in 2019, Article 119, Clause 1 of the Federal Constitution was amended, and these amendments touch on two key electoral matters, which is firstly, lower the voting age, you know, which is firstly to lower the voting age from 21 to 18, and secondly, I'm sorry, okay, I will okay, first, under the amendment, there are two key electoral measures, which is firstly to lower the voting age from 21 to 18, and secondly to automatically register the voters. There is a small mistake on the motion today, which is it is what are the first steps that can be taken to encourage the voters to register for voting. So we believe that to encourage young people in Malaysia to get involved in politics, specifically to increase the percentage of youngsters casting their voice, we have two significant methods to suggest. Firstly, by increasing the engagement through social media to spread the awareness on only 18 to the youngsters. So, what the politicians can do is to utilize the social media to regain voters' trust by communicating and engaging with them through the digital content and their social media platforms. So, social media is a very good platform to design and provide alternative election narratives. And secondly, the highlight um, of our idea today is the government should amend the head of speaker. May I have Morgan? Yes. All right. So to continue, the second point is the government should amend the University Colleges Act 1971, AUKU, and UITM Act 1976. So in Malaysia, under Section 15, Subsection 2, Paragraph 3 of Universities and University College Act, AUKU, and also Section 23F of UITM Act restricts the students' involvement in political activities. Therefore, we believe that the government should amend this act to allow the students' involvement in politics because this is because the act is the biggest restriction. So by amending this act, the students can have more political engagement, which leads to the increasement of the voting percentage. Thank you. Thank you, very good. Faculty of Law. Next, I would like to next delegate is Faculty of Akademi Pengajian Bahasa.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Adam Ahmad Farizan from Akademi Pengajian Bahasa from UiTM Shah Alam. So one of the key approaches for the voting situation is the engagement of issues from the youth. So political parties and leaders, they should address the concerns most relevant to young voters, such as job opportunities, education, and the environment. Young generations, they often feel disconnected from politics when they do not see issues that affect them being discussed. So by focusing on these concerns, they will feel more motivated or have a sense to take part in the democratic process. So along with the engagement, like with the other delegates as well, I would also like to highlight on the social media campaigns. So with the heavy usage of social media among young generations, utilizing platforms like Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok with positive and relatable content can increase those awareness. Influencers and youth leaders, they can advocate for voter registration by creating compelling narratives and showing how voting impacts issues that young people care about. Again, like education and employment. That is all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate. Akademi Pengajian Bahasa. Now we may proceed with the next delegate, UMFSS.
Assalamualaikum and selamat sejahtera. So my name is Jarano. I'm from University Malaya, representing Faculty of Art and Social Science. So when we talk about lowering the voting age and we want to encourage the youth to vote, we always think about, yeah, media is the preferable platform for them to learn about politics. But it's actually very scary to let social media alone to guide them because you know why? Social media have different media companies that have different agenda, different ideology, and this will be abused by politicians. And when we said about politicians involved in any event that we are trying to do, it's also dangerous because you know when we involve politicians, they will bring them influence, their party influence ideologies to any institution that they're going. And to make sure that every youth actually learn about politics, learn about voting, I think we need to make sure that our education provide this access. And I agree some institution we do have like a club or new organization that help these students. But then we need to think about demography because in Malaysia we have people who are living in rural area who don't get the chance to learn about it. So we must make sure that in our education, like when we learn about civic, remember we abolished that, but we need to introduce general studies for high school students because when they learn in school, they are prepared. Even though they don't have social media, they know what to do, they know what to vote, and I believe that we need to also involve collaboration from different NGO. And why NGO? Because most NGO are neutral. And like Fahmi Reza, one of the most famous activists in influencing youth, we need to involve more NGO who are non-partisan because we don't want them to vote because they are influenced by any party. And my conclusion is we must make sure that general studies can be implemented in schools. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Delegate UMFSS. Now we may proceed with the last delegate, Mascom. Hello everyone, my name is Maria Medellina. I'm from Faculty Mascom, Yatan Shalom. Alright, how to encourage the youth to vote and make them do the first step by registering to vote is firstly, within at the university level, alright, they can launch or organize some campaign or events that highlight about the importance of voting and the impact on their future. Especially, I believe in the university level and UITM, especially for in the SPC, you guys have the voting education society, which is very good. It's a very good platform actually that can help our students to know more about the voting progress. And also they also can help demonstration about how the progress of voting. Let the youth know how the significant of participants and how the government decisions may affect for their future in their life. And also let the youth involved in political discussion, which is create a space for the youth to engage more with the politician and the policymakers. Which is in this point, I believe if we as the young leaders, right, especially like NPP or the SMF as well, okay, we can be the icon of the university and collect with the influencer also who can advocate for the voting and share the personal stories about the voting progress. And in this point, let them focus more on how it matters to the young people, such as the education, the job opportunities, and the climate change, and show them how the voting can influence this area. That's all. Thank you so much. Thank you for the last delegate, Mascom. Now we move forward to the second motion. Malaysia is increasingly seen as a top destination for international students. What do you think are Malaysian strengths when it comes to attracting students from all over the world for education, research, and cultural exchange? We may proceed with the first delegate. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Razina Hafika and I'm from UITM Sawangan Sabah from FSCTC Sabah. So I will just jump right into my point. The first one is, of course, affordable education. For students from Western countries or other countries, it is way more affordable to continue studies in our country. For instance, the the top uni that counts as affordable for them, um, but UM still maintain to serve academic excellence. The second point is our culture. As all of us know, Malaysia is known as a multicultural country. Um, the international students they can learn about our country by participating in their university's cultural fest. The the next point is English as our medium of instruction. Um, Universities like Uni of Nottingham and also Monash, they practice English as their medium of instruction, and it attracts students from mostly from India and Nigeria. Because most uni in their country did not use English as the medium of instruction. May I quote this from Singh and the others, 2014? Yes, ma'am. Okay. Singh argues that international students choose Malaysia as their preferred destination because it has a safe environment for study, and also we share cultural values with the students with their own background, and a relatively low cost of living, and also tuition fees, close proximity to home countries, and also access to health. Thank you. That's all from me. Thank you for the first delegate. Now we have proceed with the second delegate.
Alright, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sarajana Harudin Director Azmi from FSTDP UITM Kedah. So, first of all, let me show to you about the point that I would like to share in this symposium. First of all, Malaysia has a strength on the policy. As we know, that the policy of taking the student from the international is very is easier. First of all, about their visa. Second, about the fee. And then next, we we know that in university we have MOU and MOA. This MOU and MOA is the strength reason why universities, why international students want to go into our country. Because with MOU and MOA, it is to ensure that the university has the up-to-date technology, such as we see that in Uniman, there's four MOU for the University of Uzbekistan. In University Unimed, there are two MOU between the South Korea, and MACEE have 11 MOU with UKM, UPM, and so on. So, next, I would like to add something. All right. All right. Next, about the research, this is my last point. The research that being held in our country is update the education system. As we know that the research about the education meant the KBSR is changed to KSS. Yes. KBSR is changed to KSSR. If I mistake, please
Sorry, delegate. You have finished your minute.
all right. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Now we may proceed with the next delegate. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Amra Maizal, and I am from FSBC Kelantan. So regarding this question, what is Malaysia's strength in terms of attracting international students to our country? So first of all, I believe that Malaysia's strength in attracting foreigner students is because of the availability of affordable living costs, which is with the affordable tuition fee. For your information, compared to Western countries, Malaysia offers world-class education at a fraction of the cost. Tuition fees are generally lower while still providing access to high-quality programs, particularly in fields like engineering, medicine, and business. This makes it an attractive option for students in seeking quality education without the burden of hefty tuition fees. Many international universities set up branches campuses in Malaysia, such as University of Nottingham, Malaysia, and Monarch University, Malaysia. This allows students with access, which provide access to world-class education without high cost of studying in main campuses. So for my second point, for this session is because of the Malaysian cultural inclusivity and welcoming environment. This which play a crucial role in attracting international students. Malaysia is a home to a rich blend of culture, including Malay, Chinese, Indian, and various indigenous groups. This diversity creates culturally inclusive environment where international students from different cultural backgrounds can feel accepted and valued. As we all understand, when people are efficient and for their quality and effort, it will enhance their self-esteem and make them feel valued. This, in return, will increase the confidence of the foreign people to reside in Malaysia. So, in short, Malaysian law of cost of living, along with its high-quality education system, is a key factor that makes it a highly attractive destination for international students. This affordability, occupied with Malaysian cultural diversity and modern infrastructure, allows students to achieve their education goals without financial strain. Is that the case? Okay. Then next we may proceed with the activity.
Alright, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Deepest gratitude to God, the Speaker of the House, the Observer, and our fellow delegates. Alright, my name is Nayamat Fikri Besamsul Kahar. I am from IFSPTP Aceh Pahang. Alright, in my point of view, the key elements of this huge turnover in international friends who come to Malaysia is feels like home elements. In the studies that have been done by various universities and the research institutes across the world, there is nearly 60% of the factors are from the psychological factors. And this is what we offer, which our country are very welcoming international students. We brought the feels like home elements and it tackling that psychological needs of them. Alright, there is no need to prove much. As we can see, our cultural diversity itself has been proven as one of the most diverse countries in Asia. And it benefits international students that are able to experience a vibrant cultural exchange that will eventually enhances their education. Our friendliness factors also make them not having a hard time to blend in into our society. And research that have been done by International Students Office in IIUM, nearly 80% of the students are having a great time in our country and have a tendency to further their studies in our country. I guess it indicates clearly how the feels like home element has been playing a crucial role in attracting our international friends to Malaysia. I believe that if we improve our cultural diversity element, they will love to come to Malaysia. I believe that if we enhance our friendliness factors, they will love to choose us again. And I believe if we keep this going, we will be one of the most chosen countries for them to further their studies. Thank you very much.
Delegate of Activity Pahang branch. Now we move to the next delegate.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Nurafuz Indonesia from Seremban, Niger. Okay, I have few points to elaborate for the answer. The first one is multicultural environment. Malaysia is a country with diverse population of various race and religion, including Malays, Chinese, Indian, and indigenous communities. The paduan faith observed in the nation are Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, and Hinduism. Therefore, students will have the opportunity to immerse themselves in various and vibrant cultures stemming from the wide range of people in Malaysia. Next point is safety. Despite having diverse religion and races, Malaysia remains a secure and tranquil nation. According to Global Peace Index 2024, Malaysia is ranked as the 10th safest country in the world and the third safest in the Asia Pacific region. The third point is educational reputation. Malaysia also recognized globally ranked among the world best cities within 11 in the top 600 according to University Ranking 2024, such as UM. Next, according to the 2022 QS World University Ranking by subject, 11 Malaysian programs were ranked in the top 50 universities for their academics. And last
tuition fees and among the top reasons to pursue education in Malaysia. Although tuition fees vary depending on the course, studying in Malaysia offer a comfortable quality of education to more educated countries. Living in Malaysia is cost effective as well. In contrast to numerous countries, the cost monthly rent is much lower. For example, you can still rent a private room with a suite bedroom for 300 ringgit per month. Normally, if the student okay with sharing room, the cost accommodation will be even cheaper. The food is also inexpensive. If you don't want to cook, can I have 30 seconds? The food is also inexpensive. If you don't want to cook or your place doesn't have a kitchen, a basic hawker meal typically ranges from 5 to 8 ringgit, depending on where you are. Furthermore, using public transportation like LRT, buses, and trains is affordable, making it convenient to travel. That's all for me.
Thank you to Delegate Atas to Thank you to Delegate Atas to Seremban. Now we may proceed with next delegate. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Niswana Rizwan from USA and Negeri Sembilan Branch. So, in my opinion, there are several reasons that make Malaysia strength that make it the choice of many Muslim students. First, Malaysia as a halal hub industry. This make it easier for Muslim students from all over the country to live here. They don't need to find the food or any necessities without doubting about the halal status. In addition, being an example research, how Malaysia implements the core of the halal sector rapidly, and the industry has grown rapidly around the world, making Malaysia as a reference standard where the other countries, especially the Muslim world, where have a sense of trust and belief in how Malaysia plays an aggressive role in halal industry. Next, English as a main language in university. In some countries like Japan, international students need to learn the local language first so that they can easily adapt to the environment. But in Malaysia, almost all the university use English as a main language, so the international students don't need to worry about the syllabus that they will be studying. English also used as a second language in Malaysian daily life. This can reduce the language barrier because the international students do not need to learn the local language to survive in Malaysia. They can just use English in everything they want, like communication with the local people to ask direction or anything. And they don't need to struggle to make the other people understand what they say. Lastly, respect of diversity. Malaysia is a multicultural country, so it's opened up a lot of cultural exchange opportunity for international students. This diversity has created the structure of togetherness toward the other ethnicity and proof that all can live in one roof. With those criteria, it proves that Malaysia has so much potential and of course everyone can live in peace and harmony with this racial interaction. So, international can I have some more? So international students don't have to worry about their safety while studying in Malaysia. That's all from me. Thank you. Thank you to delegate of the ITM Negeri Sembilan branch. Now we may proceed with next delegate, MPP UCS.
Assalamualaikum and good morning to head of speakers, ladies and gentlemen. So, in article in 2022 that shows 39,000 of mainland China students that continue studies in Malaysia and more than 10,000 students from Indonesia that continue studies in Malaysia in public universities and private universities. So we go to the first crucial point, which is education. So this education did not start from the tertiary education. It starts from the secondary education, which we have in our Malaysia. We have international baccalaureate. International baccalaureate, or the abbreviation is Ivy World School program, which have an extensive syllabus and a rigorous studies. And to add more for the tertiary education, our studies, our syllabus was created by and excellent academicians. They are very reliable for us to use to our sectors and continuing globally. Next, continue on for the research. In Malaysia, we have adequate research facilities all across the Malaysia, and to add more point on that, our government has their own initiatives on funding the master's degrees and all those PhD that wants to continue and funds their research, and also we have more connections to our international delegates, to international universities, just like Kedah said just now, MOU and MOA to our international universities. And to talk about cultural exchanges, our cultural diversity we're talking right now feels at home, just like they said just now, feels at home. They love it here because different people, different races, different traditions, and most likely are different tradition and no celebration. For example, like Idul Fitri, for example, like Deepavali, for example, like Chinese New Year, they all celebrated that, and it creates a soft welcoming to them and warm welcoming to them. Can I get 30 seconds? All right, thank you. Warm welcoming to them that makes it feel at home. And our adequate facilities in our universities and our accommodations in Malaysia that creates it more easier for them to adapt with our Malaysian environment. Thank you so much. That's all for me.
Thank you to the empathy UCS. Now we will proceed with next delegate. Uh, in my opinion, the second motion is one of Malaysia's greatest strengths is its diverse and inclusive environment. With a multicultural society that embraces various ethnicities, religions, and languages, Malaysia offers students a unique opportunity to experience a rich cultural exchange of festivals, food, and customs from Malay, Chinese, Indian, and Sabah and Sarawak ethnics. Not only that, the Islamic and halal friendly environment of our country also are the reason. For instance, halal food, prayer facilities, and Islamic practices for Muslim students is available in our country for the international students. This diversity fosters global understanding, making it easier for international students to adapt, connect, and feel at home while learning from different perspectives. Besides, Malaysia's quality of education that offers numerous programs at affordable cost grab the global attention. Our country is a home to many internationally recognized universities, partnerships with global institutions like University of Nottingham, Malaysia, and programs that emphasize practical skills, critical thinking, and research innovation. Hence, these reasons make Malaysia more appealing as an ideal study destination for international students. That's all from me. Thank you. Thank you to the Faculty of Education. Now we will proceed with next delegate, Faculty of Accountancy. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In my opinion, a significant draw for international students to study in Malaysia are that many programs in Malaysia are conducted in English. We serve as a bridge for students from diverse linguistic backgrounds. This widespread use of English also facilitates communication and collaboration between students and faculty, and also as well as within the broader international academic. By studying in English-speaking environment, students not only gain academic knowledge but also enhance their language skills, which are increasingly valuable in the global job market. Furthermore, it's making easier for the international students to adapt in Malaysia to further their studies and daily life. Besides that, my next opinion is the safe environment of Malaysia. We must grateful as Malaysia has not have the natural disaster such as um, pandemic, volcano, and so on. Because of that, it can be the factors to attract the international students to study in Malaysia, and also that it can be uh, as their daily life is more easier and they do not have to figure out how to study in Malaysia. That's all for me. Thank you. Thank you to the delegate account. Now we move on to the next delegate, FPM. So for the world for education, for the world of education is Malaysia higher education system offer a wide variety of programs from undergraduate to postgraduate studies. So including niche field, which is Islamic studies and more. And in Malaysia also provide a training program, which is even though they study in Malaysia, they can still further the studies into the other countries without cut course. Okay. Um, to further support Malaysia's change, we can compare its international education system with other emerging global education hubs, which is Singapore. Singapore also is the country that has strategic location and use English, but Malaysian have offer more affordable option while still providing quality education through international collaboration. And for the United Emirates UAE, especially Dubai, is growing as a destination for international students due to its national education offering. However, Malaysia's rich cultural diversity and affordable cost of living provide a competitive edge. So in conclusion, Malaysia's strengths as a global education destination are rooted in the affordability, disadvantage, along with the quality of life and growing research opportunities. That's all for me. Thank you. Thank you to SDM. Now we will proceed with next delegate after you. I will start. So, Malaysia stands as a beacon of educational excellence in Southeast Asia, which attracts the international students from various corners of the globe. So, this trend is not without reason, as Malaysia offers a unique blend of academic quality, research opportunities, and cultural affinity. Firstly, opportunities for academic excellence. Malaysia possesses a strong and higher education system with universities consistently ranking among the top in the region like UTP, and more. Because of this, the international students are drawn to the quality of education offered, spanning a wide area of disciplines from engineering and medicine to business and humanities. Secondly, research opportunities on research and development focus. Malaysia is investing heavily in research and innovation, especially in areas like engineering, biotechnology, and information technology. So many universities have research partnerships with global institutions, offering the students access to cutting edge research projects. And lastly, cultural affinity and comfort. Beyond academic pursuits, the international students also find a sense of familiarity and comfort in Malaysia's cultural landscape, especially the students from Southeast Asia, because we share linguistic roots, similar customs, and culinary delights, which create an environment that feels like a home away from home. So, additionally, Malaysia's diverse population ensures that international students can easily integrate into society. That's all. Thank you. Thank you, delegate. Thank you. Now we will proceed with next delegate.
So for one of the Malaysia's strengths, I agree with the other delegates of how Malaysia is a strategic location, positioned in the heart of Southeast Asia. Malaysia serves as a getaway to other countries in the region. International students, they find it convenient to travel across Asia for academic purposes. At the same time, the country's modern infrastructure and connectivity further enhance its appeal. And apart from that, there is no denying that English is widely spoken in Malaysia, and many academic institutions use English as the language of instruction, making it easier for international students to integrate both academic and social environment. And apart from that, I also agree with other delegates with how Malaysia can be a cultural exchange and international exposure. So with a large number of international students already studying in Malaysia, there are opportunities for cultural exchange. It's where students, especially international students, they can learn about different cultures and develop a global perspective, which is highly valued in today's interconnected world. That is all. Thank you.
Thank you to delegate FEB. Now we may proceed with FSS.
Hello, sir. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to all. So, in reference to the question, Malaysia is actually as like the common point that we have all discussed, which is Malaysia is famous for its inclusivity and harmonious nature. So, Malaysia is actually a thriving center for education, research, and cultural exchange. And this is apparent through the way we live our day-to-day life, where Malays, Chinese, Indians, and the Orang Asli indigenous people, we coexist peacefully. And what to say, this diversity has extended itself into universities and educational institutions. So, which is good. So let's take a look at an example from my university itself. So in University Malaya, we have this one club called the Global Network Club, which is in charge of bridging the gap between the local and international students. So last year, my friend Reno there, he got the opportunity to integrate and engage with the exchange Japanese students. And through the club activities, they both parties, the Japanese and the local club members, benefited from the cultural exchange where the Japanese students introduced their culture through their dances, their music, and the light stick dance, he told me. And then in exchange, we introduced them to Malay food and traditional dances and traditional instruments like the gamelan. So this is our racially inclusive environment is what attracts them or draws them to come here, reside here permanently or temporarily to um, to study, to further the education, to do research and such without the fear of being discriminated. So another strength that we know is that Malaysia is known for our support for research and innovation. So Malaysia is actually we have been investing heavily on research and development, particularly in the STEM field. So there are so many local organizations that provide research grants and scholarships to local and international researchers. So, for example, we have MyGrant and we have MARC under the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation of Malaysia. And my university itself has this department called the Division of Research Grant Management, DPGP, which offers four different types of research grants for researchers who want to do research. Can I get extension? Yes, thank you. So we offer these research grants to these people. So this is helpful because in a way we are supporting these people to pay for the funds needed for the equipment, the travel cost, and the data collection cost to do their research here. And I think this is a good way of moving forward because it attracts particularly postgraduate and doctoral students to do their research here and collaborate with us in global projects. Thank you.
Thank you to the FFI. Now we may proceed with the next delegate, Mascom.
Hello. Alright. For the second motion, okay. For the first one is what is the attractive things about in Malaysia that become destination for our international students to study here is about our environment itself, which is I agree with the delegates from the others that you guys already mentioned about the feeling of welcoming them here. So the country itself, the hospitality and the education and our friendliness toward the international students foster a supportive community and really value them, really make them feel that as feel at home in Malaysia. And for our quality educations, Malaysia University already collab with the institution from the overseas like UK, like Australia and US. So it approved that um, Malaysia has the high academic standards. And also, language, our people can speak diverse languages, multi-language. We surrounded with diverse races, like we have Indian, Malay, and from the Borneo people. Okay, that make us comfortable to adapt with the international students. In UITM Shah we have the UITM Global Ambassadors, which is a global networking through the diverse international friendship, which is this is a platform for our students, UITM students, to make networking with the international students as well. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mascom. Now we move to the next motion. How can student leaders balance their personal goals and ambitions with their ethical responsibilities to their peers and institutions? Now we may proceed with the first delegate from Sabah.
Right. Based on the motion 3, student leaders can balance their personal goals with their ethical responsibilities by focusing on transparent communications on and the common goal and sharing the common goal. So the idea that I'm trying to emphasize here is open dialogue and share vision. For student leaders should openly discuss their goal and plans with their peers to ensure that everyone needs and concerns are addressed. By creating a shared vision and working together towards common objectives, they can align their personal ambitions with the responsibilities of serving peers and institutions. For example, based on the Harvard Crimson article stated that at Harvard University, the student leaders have successfully balanced their personal ambitions with ethical responsibilities by holding regular meetings together to gather input from various student groups. This approach ensures that their initiatives reflect the diverse needs of the student body and maintain transparency in their decision-making processes. I think that's all for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you to delegate FSPTT Sabah. Now we will proceed with next delegate FSPTT Kedah Branch.
Hello. Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, I'm gonna go straight with my point. So my first point is turn leadership into your classroom. Okay, leadership roles are actually platforms for your personal development. Okay, for example, you use their skills. They use their skills to develop skills. Oh, no, I'm sorry. They use their position to develop skills. For example, project management. That they are surrounded by climate change movement. Okay, so many student leaders integrated their environmental passions with leadership by spreading campus I'm sorry, give me one moment. Okay. Spearheading campus sustainability initiatives. Can I use an outside example? Thank you. Okay, so for example, Greta Thunberg, a Swedish environmental activist, combines leadership on climate issues. Her personal mission was for global environmental reform in 2018, where she led a movement known as Friday for Futures. Also, I have a research from Guns 8 Out 2020 that showed that leaders link personal values to leadership roles report greater satisfaction and motivation. I'm sorry for being a bit too shivering, so I'm gonna go down. Okay. Okay. Alright. So my second point, the power of a no that protects a bigger yes. Okay. Knowing when to say no to unaligned opportunities is key. Okay. For example, COVID-19 pandemic, student leaders in universities worldwide had to say no to traditional events and programs where they prioritize students' welfare and remote learning adaptations. This no protected a bigger yes by keeping the community connected and safe. It is also supported by SNP et al. 2021 that saying no to this degree is supported studies on leadership burnout prevention. Thank you.
Thank you for Ambassador Sedang branch. Now we might proceed with next stage. Ambassador Kelantan branch.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So I'm going right into the question issue. So how can student leaders balance their personal goals and also their ethical responsibilities? So as a student leader, some of us still struggle on how to balancing out our personal goals and also ethical responsibilities. This might can be complex, but with thought and also intentional action, we can navigate how effectively we can strike with the balance. So after the discussion we have made, I'm going to highlight about time management. So of course, managing our personal goals and also responsibilities requires strong time management. Many of us have numerous roles. We are students. Also, I believe everyone here are a leader. So um, it can feel overwhelming to try to do it all. So, but time management isn't about just fitting everything in. It's about setting priorities. We need to be clear about what matters most, both in terms of our personal ambitions and also ethical responsibility. By setting realistic goals and managing our time effectively, we can give both our personal growth and our leadership roles the attention they deserve. And I also believe procrastinate is not something that leaders should have, but of course, we are a mere human. It is a normal thing for us to be motivated sometimes and just want to rest. But we have to get back up and back in track. If we keep delaying, the task that we have is going to drag and drag until it bundle up. And at one point, you could feel burnout just by seeing the task that you need to do. Thus, if we don't procrastinate, it helps us to focus on our personal interests and make us able to handle the responsibilities to our peers and into institutions very well. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you to the delegate. Next, we may proceed with next delegate. Ambassador Pahang branch.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My deepest gratitude to Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala, to Mr. Speaker, and my fellow delegates. So the motion is about how can student leaders balance their personal goals and ambition with their ethical responsibilities to their peers and institutions. So I want to highlight about ethical responsibility to their peers. So as a student leaders, we should lead by example. We should give a good example to our peers, to our friends, so that by balancing, we could show to them that as a leader, we must have the skills to, like as mentioned by my fellow delegate from Kelantan, to time management, to manage their time properly. And also, I quite agree. I also agree with my friend delegate from Sabah. It is mentioned that we must set a goals or what to say as achievement that is must align with both our personal goals and also our ethical responsibilities. It must be balanced. In Islam, we have fiqh al-awlawiyat. It's called as fiqh side of human understanding and practice of Sharia. So in Islam, it teaches that we must know which one needs to be set to be prioritized. So using that skills, inshallah, we will balance both our personal goals and also ethical responsibility. Thank you. That's all for me.
Thank you, Delegate Fahang. Now we may proceed with next delegate, Afan Security Seremban. Assalamualaikum and good day to our hero speaker, high councils and all the guests. My name is Umi Fikri Binti Amran. I am from FS PDP Seremban. So back to our motion 3. Looking forward to the meaning of the balance itself, that technically that there is no such measurement to make this balance, which is 50-50 when it comes to the personal goals or anything that related to us. There's no accounting and there's no measurement because it is totally different for each person. Depends on what their aims the most and what they are focusing on more in their life. So this is due to the reason because every student has their own goals with a different goals and perspectives that they want to pursue, and that's what they will prioritize the most. As a student leader, the organizations and studying come together within a time. For example, class at the day and back-to-back meeting at the night. So you keep on rotating this until you agree. So to make it this balance, like I said before, but not too much in measure, first is you have to put any element or theory that you learn in class to be applied in your organizations. It just kills two birds at one stone. And second is to set the clear boundaries. Identify the boundaries between the personal and leadership roles so that it helps students to prevent burnout and receive adequate attention. Okay. Or power pray, once it that you can have it all, but you just can't have it at once. The students, I know that you are very eager and passionate to have to perform more in your fields, but if you are focusing on so many at once, it will result in less. Students, please color your university life to be very mindful, very passionate, very demure, and very considerate in anything you do. With a clear vision and continuous enthusiasm, you succeed in any you are in. So no pain, no gain. But before I end, I am a student. We are all here are students. We are juggling with so many things to be considered, such as to be excellent in academics, to be active in curriculum, to give benefits to the community, mostly to make our parents and family proud. However, we are still a student back to back, so you just have one. Nothing to worry about. So just enjoy the moment during your study life, more adventures to come. Remember, the message is about finding your priority, and good luck to all future leaders. Thank you. Thank you for the fantastic turbine. Now we may proceed with the next delegate. You are the MWC
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Fakshi Ashraf bin Ridwan. As a student leaders, balancing personal goals with ethical responsibilities might be quite challenging, but it is achievable by the right approach. Therefore, prioritize integrity and accountability is very important. Ethical decision making means always consider how your action will affect others, as well as accountability, responsible that you take on those decisions. Furthermore, time management is the key. With a clear vision, you can set your priorities clear, hence balance leadership duties, personal goals without overcommitting. In summary, passion and discipline is the most crucial elements in this part. Without passion, you can never build a strong discipline. With a strong passion, you can have a strong discipline. You need to ask yourself, you need to question yourself who, how, and when you're going to be someone that you want to be. With that goal clear, you can set your mindset clear and successfully balance personal and professional life smoothly. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate George and Regional Branch. Now we may proceed with the next delegate, MPC UCS. Yes. Alright, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to head of speakers and my fellow delegates. My name is Intan Asmira binti Muhammad Senin from UITM Selangor branch. I will share my point of view based on my experience as student representative council. So, as student leaders in Malaysian University, one of the toughest challenges is managing time. You have your studies, assignment, and exam, but you also have responsibilities as a leader in your student organization or a club. Sometimes, when there's too much to do, it's tempting to take shortcut in your studies, but doing that can harm your integrity. Another big challenge is peer pressure. Maybe your friends expect you to be more relaxed or make decisions that make things easier for them, but as a leader, you need to do what is right, even if it's not popular. For example, enforcing rules in a club or society that can be tough when your friend disagrees. Lastly, student leaders are role models. People around you look up to you and they expect you to act in a way that match your value. Maintaining your integrity means setting a good example, both in academic and in leadership. So in the end, maintaining integrity as a student leader is about finding balance, standing by your values, and leading by example. It's not always easy, but it's essential for building trust and respect. And when we stay true to our principles, just like what Tan Sri said just now, both in academics and leadership, we not only succeed, but inspire those around us to do the same. Thank you to the delegate. And if you just ask, now we next move on to the next delegate, Faculty of Education. Okay, my answer for the third motion is I would say that time management is the answer. It is essential for us to balance time between striving in personal goals, whether it is excelling in studies, building leadership skills, or preparing for our future career. However, we also carry the weight of responsibility toward our peers and our institution. The challenge is to ensure that while pursuing our own ambitions, we don't neglect the needs of those who depend on us. We should apply effective time management as it allows us to allocate attention to both areas, ensuring that we don't sacrifice one for the other. For instance, by setting clear priorities or organizing our schedule, we can excel academically while still contributing meaningfully to the student community. However, time management alone is not enough. Self-discipline plays a critical role in keeping us accountable to our goals and responsibilities. It is easy to get caught up in personal pursuits, but self-discipline reminds us to stay committed to our responsibilities as leaders. It encourages us to maintain integrity in our actions and make decisions that benefit not only ourselves, but also those we lead, whether it's resisting the temptation to cut corners academically or ensuring that we stay dedicated to leadership role, self-discipline can keep us on track.
So I highly believe that time management and self-discipline are the best keys to balance personal goals and our ethical responsibilities. Thank you.
Thank you to the delegate Faculty of Education. Now we may proceed with next delegate Faculty of Accountancy.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and greetings to everyone. I am Nur Hanani Maisara binti Abu Said and I am representative from Faculty of Accountancy UITM Puncak Alam. As student leaders, we often find ourselves hard to balance between personal goals and our responsibilities to our peers and institutions. It is crucial to remember that while personal goals are important, it should never come at the expense of your peers or the values of your institution. For me personally, true leadership is the ability to serve others while still pursuing our goals. For example, let me explain further based on my personal experience. Previously, I'm in charge in organizing an event in UITM, but at the same time, I have a far common test that I need to study, which for me is one of the killer subjects for an accounting student. It's easy for me to feel torn between doing what is best for myself and studying for the test or dedicating time and energy to the event. However, during that tough time, I managed to delegate the task and ask help from the other committees when needed. This is to ensure that the event is still a success without neglecting the personal responsibility to aid the test. This way, I managed to fulfill both obligations ethically and effectively. Furthermore, time management is a key. By prioritizing tasks and setting clear goals, we can balance our study, leadership duties, and personal goals without compromising our integrity principles. Remember that effective leadership means guiding with integrity. By making sure your personal needs and values of your peers and institutions, we must set a positive and achieve meaningful success. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you to the delegate Faculty of Accountancy. Now we may proceed with next delegate FPM. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Nurul Fatin Safarina from FPM UITM. Student leadership is a powerful platform for personal growth and development. It provides opportunities to shape campus life, influence peers, and foster meaningful change. However, with the benefits of leadership come ethical responsibilities that go beyond personal ambition. Student leaders must navigate the delicate balance between advancing their own goals. In my opinion, institutional supports play a crucial role in helping student leaders balance their personal ambition with ethical responsibilities. The leadership programs that teach time management, emotional intelligence, and conflict resolution can help student leaders manage their roles effectively while also meeting their personal goals. Institution can emphasize the importance of using this skill in an ethical context. That's all from me. Thank you. Thank you to delegate FDM. Now we may proceed with next delegate FDU.
May I please the head of speakers? So, to answer the motion three, in order to be a student leader who can balance well between his personal goals and ethical responsibilities, we believe that the keyword here is to be a leader with an integrity. This principle or value is also mentioned in the Quran. With the permission from the head of speaker, may I quote a verse from the Quran? Alright. By referring to Surah Al-Qasas in verse 26, Inna khayra man istajarta al-qawiyyul amin, which means the best one of you can hire is the strong and the trustworthy. First, it shows that integrity and accountability are crucial for a true leader. Sorry. To be a student leader with integrity, we need to consider these few principles. Firstly, intention. We must start with a sincere intention to serve others and seek the pleasure of our God. We have to make sure our personal goals align with the values of honesty and service, or else these will lead to breach of trust. Secondly, honesty. Uphold honesty in all dealings. Be honest and trustworthy, as these are essential qualities in leadership. Do not mix the personal interest into the business. And lastly, accountability. We must recognize that we will be held accountable for our actions both in the past and the hereafter. This awareness can guide ethical decision making. By embodying these principles, we believe that we, as a student leader, can balance between our personal goals and ethical responsibility. It is true that integrity alone won't make you a leader, but without integrity, you will never be one. Thank you.
To a faculty of law. Now we may proceed with next delegate, APP.
Okay, so one of the ways to balance personal goals with the ethical responsibilities, in my point of view, is to practice self-reflection. Regular self-reflection allows student leaders to assess whether they are acting in the best interest of their peers or if they are being driven by their personal gain. This habit helps to ensure that ethical considerations will guide their decisions and actions. And apart from
Sorry
that,
to interrupt. May I have the attention of the older kids? Please respect the one who speaks, okay? Thank you.
okay. Apart from that, is to seek mentorship and support. Mentors, whether they are faculty or experienced leaders outside the academic institutions, they can provide valuable guidance on how to navigate the balance between personal ambitions and ethical responsibilities. They can offer various perspectives on leadership that emphasize on service, empathy, and accountability. And balancing the personal ambitions with ethical responsibilities requires self-discipline and a commitment to the community, particularly in our academic institutional environment. Student leaders who can integrate their personal growth with the well-being of their peers become more effective and gain respect from their environment. That is all for me.
Thank you to faculty APP. Now we may proceed with UMFSS.
Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, everyone. I am Sarano from University Malaya. When we talk about student leaders balance their personal goals and ethical responsibilities, I know it is very hard for us to juggle with these two things, but then we need to realize that we are student leaders, and if we cannot balance both of these, that means we are not competent. So this is something that we need to get straight, and then we need to realize that our position as a student leader, meaning that we were voted or we were chosen by the people. If we follow what African philosophy of Ubuntu said, be self to others, meaning that I am because who we are. And who we are, the people are who we reflect. So we are the position that we hold as a representative for everyone. If we are not strong, meaning the whole organization under us will collapse together. So talking about personal goals, yep, it is important, but you need to take sacrifice. So one thing that we need to remember is when you become a student leader, to balance it, you must make sacrifice. Yes, time management, but trust me, to kill two birds with one stone, what previous delegate said, it is true, but you will have time where you need to sacrifice things. And not just time, sometimes you also need to sacrifice your financial and your time with your family. So all these are something that you need to prepare before being a student leader. So to emphasize again, get ready and be resilient. You have strong mental, you can become a good leader, and from that you can balance personal goals and be a good example to your team. Thank you very much.
Thank you to Delegate FFS. Now we proceed with next call. All right. For the motion three, in my point of view, as a student leaders, we should prioritize the transparency and the communication. Alright, so they themselves should set a clear personal objective that align with the needs and the value of their peers and institutions. So when we want to collect with somebody in any of organizations, better we prioritize the collaboration over the competitions. So this also can help to harmonize our personal aspirations with the collective goals as well. And next, as a student leaders, we should establish a very strong ethical framework that can guide the youth leaders and also the teammates about the decision making and help them to navigate the challenge while maintaining the integrity and serving the best interest of their community for their peers and also the institution itself. That's all. Thank you. Thank you to our last delegate from NESCOM. Now I move to the next motion. But before that, due to time constraint, we have to make the motion for the final motion. Therefore, I hope the delegates will give an opportunity to those who have not yet spoken. For the last motion, for the last motion, what are the biggest challenges to the leaders face when it comes to maintaining integrity in their academic and leadership roles? Now we may proceed with the first delegate, Akas PPP Sabah branch. Assalamualaikum. Okay, I would like to start my point with a quote. Integrity is doing the right thing, even when the pressure to succeed academically or leadership roles tempts you to cut corners. So my first point is pressure to prioritize leadership over academics. Leaders from often face pressure to prioritize leadership tasks, which can conflict with their academic responsibilities. For instance, organizing events might require time away from study, pushing them to choose between maintaining their grades or fulfilling leadership duties, risking academic integrity if shortcuts are taken. My next point is navigating peer influence and favoritism. I believe all of us have faced this. Friends or peers may expect special treatment or leniency because of personal relationships, testing the leader's fairness. So, the challenge lies in maintaining impartiality without damaging friendship or being accused of favoritism, a balance that can strain their integrity. The last point is public scrutiny and perfection expectations. As student leaders are often held to higher ethical standards, even minor mistakes are magnified, creating pressure to appear flawless. This constant scrutiny can attempt them to cover up errors rather than admit them, challenging their commitment to honesty and transparency. Thank you. Thank you to the Angkas Pipiti Sabah. Now we proceed with the next delegate. Angkas Pipiti Kedah.
Assalamualaikum and good evening to guest speakers, observer, and fellow delegates. Alright, back to our core motion. Student leaders must fully engage in society face unique pressures and challenges. Each decision made by these leaders reflect not only their abilities, but also their ethical foundation. Leadership is just not about making the right decision fairly, transparently, and with the honesty. But the reality is that maintaining integrity, especially in such positions, is far from easy. Integrity can sometimes feel like a burden rather than a guidance to some people. Now, through thoughtful discussion, we aim at the biggest challenges student leaders encounter in maintaining integrity are feeling burnout and temptation of misusing the power. Well, I believe maintaining integrity requires ton of effort, demands of leadership, academic, and personal life. When it becomes overlooked, the leader might make impulsive decisions, which could lead to harming the integrity itself due to the burnout they interfere, not only affecting their leadership skills, integrity, but as well as their academic and mental health. Maintaining integrity can lead to burnout when leaders constantly face ethical dilemmas and the emotional toll of making difficult decisions. Alright, I believe this can be avoided by delegating tasks and setting clear boundaries rather than just focusing on the tasks given before those burdens eat themselves alive. Not only that, we also thought that when the leadership has come to a level of authority, they might be struggle with the temptation to misuse the power. This will lead to unfairness and personal benefit users. In this case, the tendency for biases and dishonesty becomes obvious due to the higher rank they hold in particular positions. To be said, this will affect the whole organization reputation, where people might have the thought that these people shouldn't be trusted, which will also affect the integrity itself. I suppose leaders must recognize the importance of self-care and establish boundaries to balance their commitment to integrity with their well-being. Integrity should be sustained not just through principles, but also through practices that protect the leader's mental health and also their reputation. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you to the delegate FSPP Sultan. Now we will proceed to next delegate, FSPP Kelantan branch. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Asma. I'm from UITM Kelantan branch. So straight to the main point, student leaders often face the significant challenge of balancing academic pressure with their leadership responsibility and understanding the advantages and disadvantages of their role is crucial once they step into leadership positions. While maintaining strong academic results is essential, along with fulfilling their leadership duties within clubs and organizations, the pressure can become overwhelming, particularly during exam periods when club commitments intensify, potentially impacting academic performance. To effectively manage this, student leaders should develop a structured schedule or timetable to prioritize and allocate their time efficiently, which can be accomplished through the use of planners or digital tools. These tools facilitate the organization of tasks and commitments, providing a clear visual representation that allows leaders to adjust their schedule as needed. By doing so, they can make informed decisions, reduce academic pressure, and balance and maintain a balanced approach to their dual roles in academic and leadership. Thank you. Thank you to the delegate Accessibility Kelantan. Now we proceed Accessibility Pahang. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Head of Speaker. So straight to the answer for the motion 4. So student leaders face significant challenge in balancing their academic and leadership responsibility. According to LG 2016, academic life become very stressful since leadership roles as well as personal study demand attention. As a leader, we are expected to organize events, attending meetings, and manage teams. And also, as a student, back to our primary responsibility is to maintain the academic performance that require time and dedication. When these two responsibilities overlap, it creates intense time pressure, leading to stress and difficult choices. As an example, whether to prioritize academic tasks or leadership duties. This pressure can tempt student leaders to compromise their integrity, perhaps by cutting corners on assignment, engaging in academic dishonesty, or neglecting leadership duties. This struggle to balancing both responsibility. Sorry to interrupt. Can we stop for item? The delegate from Pahang is requested to resume your answer. So I will just can I continue? So this struggle to balance both responsibility while maintaining integrity is one of the toughest parts of being a student leader. So that's all for me. Right. Thank you, Delegate from Pahang. Now we proceed with atas PPP Seremban.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sada Tumansa from FSCC Serembati. Integrity means being honest and having strong moral values. It's about doing what right, even when it's difficult. The first challenge is peer pressure. Student leaders may feel the need to follow their peers' action, even when they know it's wrong, just to fit it or avoid being left out. Plus, grouping can also push them to go along with the crowd, even if it goes against their better judgment. Another challenge is academic stress. The pressure to meet deadlines and get good grades can tempt students to cheat, for example, in examinations. Fear to failing may lead some to act unethically to avoid bad results. Additionally, trying to be perfect and create so much stress that they might bend their own rules to meet their goals. In conclusion, integrity is essential for student leaders by staying honest and true to their principles.
It can build trust and create a positive environment. Overcoming challenges like peer pressure and academic stress is important for setting a good example for others. Thank you. Thank you to Delegate Affected with Ramban. Now we proceed with the ITM grade 9 branch.
Hello. Hi, good afternoon to the health speaker and to all my delegates. My name is Azri from UITM Muslim branch. There are three biggest challenges that I take note of this motion. The first one is the student leaders frequently have to manage conflict of interest. And the second one is the vicious peer pressure to compromise their values. And the last one is the strike balance uh, between their personal and academic studies. It might be difficult to uphold justice and openness while pursuing the ultimate objective of effective leadership. But I believe in this symposium, everyone can make everyone can manage these biggest challenges because everyone have a leadership in their self and everyone have a good time management and this will be a good platform to everyone to make a best integrity and academic and offer the leadership role. And that's all from me. Thank you so much.
Thank you to Delegate ITM grade 9 branch. Now we may proceed with MPP UCS.
So, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a good morning to the people of the hall, esteemed fellow delegates, and respected audience. Integrity is the foundation of effective leadership. However, student leaders often face challenges when it comes to maintaining integrity in both academic and leadership roles. One of the biggest challenges is balancing academic responsibilities with leadership duties. Student leaders are often expected to excel academically while also managing their commitment to student organizations, events, and community projects. This overwhelming pressure can sometimes lead to uh, compromises such as cutting corners or sacrificing academic integrity to keep up with leadership demands. Additionally, there's the issue of peer pressure and groupthink. Student leaders often navigate complex social dynamics. In trying to meet the expectations of their peers, they may be tempted to align with decisions or behaviors that conflict with their values. Maintaining integrity requires the courage to stand firm against the tide, even if it means going against the majority. Lastly, self-doubt and fear of failure can also challenge a student leader's integrity. The fear of not meeting expectations or failing in their leadership role might push them to take unethical shortcuts, whether in academics or organizational management. All of these are supported by a research entitled Student Leadership Roles and its Impact on Academic Performance in the International Journal of Economics, Commerce and Management, which resulted with 74 out of 166 respondents are having conflict to maintain their academics very frequently. In conclusion, student leaders face numerous challenges to maintaining integrity, from balancing multiple responsibilities to resisting the temptation to self-doubt. However, the true measure of the leadership lies in the ability to overcome these challenges with honesty, transparency, and a strong moral compass. With that, thank you.
Thank you to MPP UCS. Now we may proceed with Faculty of Education. Assalamualaikum. Thank you, Head of Speaker. So I'd like to answer the fourth motion in the perspective of student leader in Faculty of Education. So as we all know, maintaining integrity while juggling both our academic and also leadership responsibilities is a big challenge itself. So especially it is very significant for us who are student leaders in Faculty of Education because we are not just student leaders, but we are also preparing to become role models for the next generation. So one major issue that we all face all the time is the time management. So, for example, when we feel pressure to excel academically while also fulfilling our leadership roles, it's tempting to take the shortcuts, whether that means neglecting your responsibilities or compromising on academic honesty. So, hence, I think that time management is one of the most challenging tasks in maintaining integrity in both academic and leadership roles. Thank you. Thank you, Faculty of Education. Now we move on to Faculty of Accountancy. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I believe the biggest challenge student leaders face when it comes to maintaining integrity in their academic and leadership work are balancing academic work with leadership duties and peer pressure or conflicts of interest. As a as a student leader, balancing academic work with leadership duties puts pressure on them to perform well in both areas, which can sometimes lead to ethical dilemma. They might be tempted to cut corners or prioritize one role at the expense of others. Besides that, the conflict of interest. The conflict of interest can be encounter pressure from friends or groups to make decisions that serve their interests rather than those of the broader student body. And lastly, the constant public scrutiny that comes with leadership roles since their actions are always under review. Maintaining transparency and accountability while being closely what can be stressful, but is crucial for preserving trust and credibility. That's all for me. Thank you. Thank you, Faculty of Accountancy. Now we proceed with FCM. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In my opinion, one of the biggest challenges student leaders need to face when it comes to maintain integrity is time management. Student leaders need to do Student leaders need to do multiple roles, for example, attending classes, completing assignments, leading student organization, and participating in extracurricular activities. Effectively prioritizing these tasks to ensure that neither academic performance nor leadership responsibilities suffer is a constant challenge. Based on my experience, when the exam comes, some of my friends will try to figure out how to cheat in the exam. They also asked me to join them, but I know they wanted to have a good grade in the exam, but that is wrong. So I really need to send my voice to say no to the cheaters, even if I slightly forgot and not have time much to study. Furthermore, when it comes to leadership roles, one word comes to my mind, which is unfairness. By having an organization or team that led by unfruitful, the team might suffer a lot of problems and unexpected bad events always could happen. In conclusion, the leaders somehow need to sacrifice themselves to be a better and integrity as leaders for all. Short for me, thank you. Thank you for faculty of FBM. Now we move on to FBU.
Good. I will cut my argument short because I know we are 100 now. So
So the motions, the main issue of the motion is what is the bigger challenges for students in two areas, which is academic and leadership roles in terms of contact with integrity. So my point is very simple. It goes two ways, which is first, be accountable to yourself, and second is to have self-discipline. Without these two, you cannot have integrity. That's all. Because integrity is not a value that you can keep in your mind and ta-da, integrity. No. Integrity, you need to practice it. Without practice, without real life of practice of integrity, which is in turn requires accountable and self-discipline, you cannot have integrity. So how you can maintain integrity in academic and leadership roles? You cannot. So first, as a student, first we are all students here. We are not leaders at the first place. We are all students. We are all human beings. So we need to become ourselves accountable to ourselves. So we can create integrity, values, and spirit. So I would like to quote some words which my good sir here always said in our constitutional class, which is absolute power corrupts absolutely. So in order to not your have yourself have an absolute power, you need to control yourself. How? Discipline, which is in turn create integrity. So that's all. Thank you very much, and I hope that answers.
Thank you to FDU. Now we move on to FED.
Okay, so the fourth motion is what are the biggest challenges student leaders face when it comes to maintaining integrity in their academic and leadership roles. So the first one is conflicting responsibilities, where balancing leadership duties with academic demands can create stress, leading to situations where integrity might be compromised. Student leaders may be tempted to cut corners academically or in their leadership roles due to time constraints or exhaustion, which can challenge their commitment to ethical behavior. And the next point is managing favoritism and bias. Being in a leadership role often means making decisions that affect peers, which can lead to accusations of favoritism or bias. It's challenging for student leaders to remain impartial, especially when personal connections are involved. Balancing personal relationships with responsibility to treat everyone fairly requires a strong sense of integrity. So in leadership, sometimes you have like some, and also in the leadership organization. So when you have not, when you don't have this sense of integrity in order to balance whether to like give the integrity sense among your friends in a leadership organization, then it will be one of the biggest challenge to balance how you be in the organization. So maintaining integrity as a student leader requires self-awareness, resilience, and a strong commitment to ethical principles. Overcoming these challenges is essential for building trust, credibility, and long-term success as a leader. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you to the FED. Now we move on to UMFSS.
Hi, Assalamualaikum and good evening to all. So going straight to the motion, what are the biggest challenges that student leaders would face? So the first one would be the issue of navigating between institutional expectations and personal ethics, I would say. So when you're a student leader, right, you are actually representing a student body and your institution itself. So you are representing two parties here. So sometimes there will be a clash between the demands from your institution and your personal ethics. So for instance, you are a student leader and then you are being requested to conform or endorse a certain university policy regarding the campus speech. According to your personal belief, you feel like this is suppressing freedom of expression and limiting your voice. But then publicly, you feel pressured or scared to endorse your belief because you want to maintain your leadership role. So this is where your sense of integrity should come. Like when Tan Sri Abu Qasim mentioned earlier, you should always say no when a request is intersected with your personal belief. You should be generous with declining. And then the next challenge would be lack of teamwork. Okay, so there's no such thing as leadership when there is no organization of teamwork. So there must be a team full of committed people to reach certain objectives. So when teamwork is lacking, people will work independently and in isolation, and they will feel justified to act against procedures or ethics because they feel like they're not being judged or monitored by anyone. So this is they also feel like the integrity of the planning process is not every member is involved in it. So they feel like their action is justified. So when there is no strong teamwork, integrity of the entire group is at risk. Can I get an extension, please? And when the entire the group efforts in maintaining integrity is at risk, it will lead to potential ethical violations. Thank you.
Thank you to the delegate to MFFS. Now we move on to our last delegate, MESCOM. Hello everyone. Alright, for the motion 4, as a student leader, there will be the desire to in or gain the popularity that can lead to compromising values or engaging in unethical behavior. Me as student leader in the university level, most of them, some of them, all right, love to gain the popularity first. So that uh, is the biggest challenges as student leaders. Which one you want to prioritize first, right? And then the next one is about the time management, just like the other delegates already mentioned about the time management, because we also a student, all right? With when we're juggling the academic commitments with the policies, also can lead to the stress, and sometimes it will result in compromised decisions. Sometimes they will miss some of the lesson during the class. And the last is about the communication barrier. All right, misunderstanding or lack of transparency can lead to mistrust and complicating effort to maintain the integrity. When we communicate very well, actually, is the key to maintain the teamwork in our team. Actually, so let our team understand what the situation that we are facing right now. So when each other have the better understanding, alright, so we can manage our time as well for to balancing the integrity with our academic and also the leadership roles. So that's all from me. Thank you. Thank you to our last delegate from MESCOM. Now I would like to invite my deputy head of speaker to continue the symposium.
Thank you to my head speaker. First and foremost, it is our sincere sorry that we can't proceed to continue with most of our leftover motions since the time is against us. We had to stop the motion until the fourth motion. For the rest of the six motions, please answer the motion on soft copy and send it to us before 5 o'clock today, so we can compile the whole complete documentation. The submission of your answer will be part of our rubric in search for our best delegates award. So please be noted. But of course, thank you to my head of speaker. Now, we have reached our final session, which is to conduct a vote and reach enough majority numbers for us to proceed with the resolution. Now, if the whole of the General Assembly agree to continue the symposium with the resolutions, you can raise your hands and we and our speaker can continue to talk. Is
everyone, all right. So right now we have moved to our session, which is to do a vote. This vote is for us to gain a legitimacy for us to do a resolutions. So from all of the discussion that we had today, we're going to compile the whole documentation and make it into one resolution to be given tomorrow to our TDSCP. And in order to have a legitimate documentation, we need to have everyone to agree for us to continue with the resolution. Is that clear? Alright, so if you all agree, you all can raise your hands. Yes. Yes. So if you agree, then you can raise your hands. And if you do not, you can just put down. Alright, so if everyone agrees, please raise your hand. Can you raise your hands higher? Can you more higher, more higher? With that, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our majority numbers. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. All blessed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as we managed to complete our symposium. As representing the Supreme Council, we just want to say congratulations and thank you to be part of this history. With every of the facts that has been given, now with wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The General Assembly is now dismissed. Thank you.
Thank you to the Supreme Council of Symposium and all the leadership. We will now proceed with photo session. Therefore, I would like everyone to kindly gather in the middle of the hall to ensure everyone is in the place. Multimedia Bureau, please get ready. Minta percepatkan langkah anda. Cepat gerak, cepat makan. Okay, in the count of 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Sebentar. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your presence and participation. Posisi dah lapar. Okey, ni video. Okey, kita nak record video. Kita punya lesson kita akan sebut Symposium, kita cakap the rap. Dengan kiraan 1, 2, 3. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your presence and participation. The support has made this event successful and we are grateful for your engagement and enthusiasm. We hope you have enjoyed the program. Thank you once again and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Delegasi, boleh duduk dulu tak? Sekejap je. Delegasi boleh stand soal untuk feedback symposium. Alright, okay.